Clark Kellogg.
Thank you, Frank. And man, the gracious hospitality continues here. I would like you to grade Frank, though, as enthusiastic and as passionate and as sincere as he was. I distinctly gave him instructions to be short, sweet, and simple in his introduction. I want to know if that guy is coachable or not. Thank you, Frank. Appreciate it. And thank all of you. It has been wonderful. I've only been here a short time, but the hospitality has been absolutely five-star, sincere, and genuine, and I'm thrilled to be here. I heard a Baptist minister once say that I am glad to be wherever I am. And I feel that sincerely, because most of the time, wherever I am, I've actually chosen to be there, and God has provided a way for me to be there. The only exceptions are in hazards on the golf course. I'm not interested in being there, but oftentimes I find myself there. I've been given, based on the structure of the program, I've been given about a 20-minute shot clock. After hearing that Dick went, and I love Dick, and I'm not surprised that he went an hour and 40 and that he was riveting and sincere, but that's too long. One of the first things I learned when I had to transition from being a player to a broadcaster is that brevity over longevity wins every time. So I'm going to stay true to a relatively short shot clock in my time with you tonight, because I'm anxious to hear from the coaches as they talk about the upcoming basketball season. This is a great time of year for a number of reasons. The beginning of basketball season on the college side is certainly part of what I do and have done for a living for a long time. And I still get extremely excited. It's neat to see how teams come together. There's hope eternal all over the place as teams gather and practice and prepare for what they hope will be a championship season. As a broadcaster, I get excited about revisiting notes from last year and watching tapes from last year and thinking about teams that are adding new pieces or returning outstanding players and how that all is going to shake out. One of the great things about sports, and part of what attracts us to it so much, is the unpredictable nature of it. It's real-life drama on a regular basis, and there's no better game, in my opinion, than the college game of basketball. And that's both on the men's and women's side. Some of my colleagues on the men's side have not experienced or tasted the joy of watching the women do their thing between the lines. I'm a huge fan of basketball, men and women's basketball, particularly the college game. And I feel privileged to have a chance to be a small part of it as a college broadcaster. I want to tell you a little bit about my story. You know from my bio that I work for CBS. I've been in the lead analyst role going into my fourth season now. Prior to that, I was 12 years in the studio. Before that, I spent 8 years at ESPN. And I got my broadcasting start after my playing career ended with the Indiana Pacers in 1987. Got a chance to do radio broadcasts for the Indiana Pacers, and that really was my beginning as a broadcaster. Before that, obviously, I worked as a player with the Indiana Pacers. Spent 3 years at Ohio State as a Division I scholarship athlete and had a tremendous and successful high school career coming up out of Cleveland. I say that to say this. My wife and I met when I was a freshman in college back in 1980. We ended up dating the 3 years that I was at Ohio State. Got married after my rookie year in the NBA in 1983 and just celebrated our 28th wedding anniversary in July. And I thank God for a woman that has been a tremendous friend, partner, lover, and support for me. And she often wonders how it is that you get asked as a guest to be a speaker at these kinds of occasions. I understand that sports is highly esteemed in the world of our society. I know that you had a pretty successful playing career in college and the pros. I know that you enjoy some notoriety as a commentator, which you've been doing for 20 plus years. But in the days that we've been married and courting, what is it that you have to say that's of value when you've never had a real job before? And as much as I would like to rebut her, she's right. From student athlete to NBA player to basketball commentator, that kind of work is so much fun and so enjoyable that it's actually hard to call it work until the Pacers added an additional job opportunity to me last July. My title is Vice President of Player Relations. I'm basically involved in overseeing the personal development of our Indiana Pacers players, which covers all areas of their development: financial literacy, career transitioning, whatever it is they deal with in the dynamic, challenging world of being pro athletes. Our department is responsible for trying to help them navigate that effectively and holistically. So I decided after months of consultation with our general manager that this was something that I felt that, one, I could be effective at, and two, that God had laid in my path. It wasn't as though I needed additional work. The basketball broadcasting keeps me quite occupied. I was doing Indiana Pacers television broadcasting at the time as well. But there was a gnawing in my heart and spirit that said this is an opportunity to do something that may fit you and that has a chance to be impactful in a broader context than just what you've been doing. One of the great beings that we can be is humble. Whether we're student athletes, coaches, professors, board chairs, mothers, fathers, husbands, wives, one of the greatest attributes we can have in being is humble and grateful. There's a passage that says, gratitude is not only a great virtue, it's the parent of all virtues. Thankfulness and humility, a foundation for being that impacts wherever we are, whatever we do. Not only being thankful and humble, but right underneath that is how do we handle our particular responsibilities and challenges. All of us face them. The difficulty of giving up basketball at 26 years old in the prime of a promising NBA career was one of my greatest heartaches. And yet, through that, through relying on God, through faith in God, through the support of family and friends, that adversity has moved me to another arena, because I never lost sight of how grateful I was for where I had been and also who I belonged to through God with Christ. Being humble and thankful, doing the right thing. A simple statement, a hard thing to do. No matter where we are, what our responsibilities are, when we're grateful and humble and committed to doing the right thing, we've got a great chance to reach our God-given ability. Enjoy the process. It's easy to think about the glamour and glory of the result. Wins, championships, promotions, awards. But the process, the tedium of the process. When we can be thankful and humble, when we can commit ourselves to doing the right thing, and when we can enjoy the process, understanding that the results will take care of themselves, when our hearts and attitudes are right, when we're doing the right thing, when we're committed to the work and enjoying the process. I shared that with the student athletes in the time that I had with them in our reception, both the men's team and the women's team, enjoying the process. It's a reminder for me as a broadcaster. Enjoy the preparation, the watching of the video, the constructive criticism I get from my wife, even when I'm not interested in getting it. But she knows basketball. She knows her husband. She knows when my foot is close to being in my mouth, and she can call me out on it. But that's part of enjoying the process. Humility and gratitude. How many of us would want our children to demonstrate those qualities, if nothing else, because they cover so much ground? Doing the right thing. Enjoying the process of trying to maximize your God-given ability. I want to close with just a poem that I think kind of summarizes this to a degree. It's called Winners Are People Like You. Winners take chances. Like everyone else, they fear failing, but they refuse to let fear control them. Winners don't give up. When life gets rough, they hang in until the going gets better. Winners are flexible. They realize there is more than one way and are willing to try others. Winners know they are not perfect. They respect their weaknesses while making the most of their strengths. Winners fall, but they don't stay down. They stubbornly refuse to let a fall keep them from climbing. Winners don't blame fate for their failures, nor luck for their successes. Winners accept responsibility for their lives. Winners are positive thinkers who see good in all things and all people. From the ordinary, they make the extraordinary. Winners believe in the path they have chosen, even when it's hard, even when others can't see where they're going. Winners are patient. They know a goal is only as worthy as the effort that's required to achieve it. Winners are people like us, like you. They can and do make the world a better place. Winning, to me, is first being, and for me that's rightly related to God through Christ as the foundation of who I am. But also winning is being internally what manifests itself in your life on a regular basis. It's not the scoreboard, it's not victories. It's making the most of your God-given opportunities and positively impacting others while you make that journey. And it's also running your own race. I'm 6'8", have been since I was 15 years old. Didn't have nothing to do with it. Didn't have nothing to do with it. Can't run away from the DNA, is what I like to say. But I can use what I've been given to the best of my ability for me and for those that I might impact and influence within my sphere. All of us are capable of being tremendous winners. And I know you are, and you will be, and that's my challenge and encouragement to all of us, to be winners in the right way, difference makers. Thank you for the hospitality. Thank you for graciously receiving me. And it's a wonderful blessing to have a chance to be here amongst folks that are genuinely excited about what the programs are doing here and what the leadership is laying the foundation for. It's a process. It doesn't happen overnight. It's a step at a time. But you're headed in the right direction. Thank you very much.